Are you always coming up with ideas? Do you marvel at successful business owners? Do you hate being told what to do? Ever take things apart just to see how they work? Are you a dreamer? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, this podcast is for you. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Pro Tapes and Specialties is the world leader in tape manufacturing and specialty conversion with over 40 years of experience. In addition to our pro brand of high-quality specialty adhesive tapes, we provide contract converting services that help improve your profitability, streamline your supply chain, and reduce inventory cost. We offer the most complete range of converting capabilities in the industry, such as cloth tape, double-coated tape, specialty tape, paper tape, masking tape,
vinyl tape, carton sealing tape, adhesive transfer tape, duct tape, foam tape, electrical tape, filament tape, foil tape, reflective tape.
And the tape just keeps on rolling. Visit us online today at www.protapes.com or call us at 800-345-0234. Pro Tapes, it's just how we roll.
Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Entrepreneurial Enclave, Life's Coming Attraction. I am your host, Kevin Wortham. And man, we had such a fantastic response. I had to bring back my brother, Robert E Criner, and he's talking some fantastic stuff. And we're just going to jump right into it. Robert, talk to me.
Great. Greetings. Glad to be here. Kevin.
So originally, before we started the podcast, you were talking about the changing in our language, not saying payment, but calling it investment. And tell me the difference in that strategy.
Well, it's certainly a mindset. And when you look at, again, many people don't like to spend money. They don't like to create a new account or whatever. But when you talk about an investment, when you're saying invest in this, in yourself, you're basically bringing that back to yourself. Whatever money that you're investing, you're putting down or you're putting into something, you're going to get something out of it. It's going to be a wonderful learning experience. That's one of the things with our coaching and our consulting programs. We are really geared to changing the way we use words. Yes. In fact, I'll give you an adage of when we go back to spend, don't say spend money, say circulate money. Because if you spend it, it goes out and it never comes back. Yes. But when you circulate it, the money comes back. It's like our blood circulated in our bodies. When our blood is circulated, health and wholeness are apparent in our everyday walks in life.
I love it, man. I love it. We were supposed to have our partner on the line, Jeff Dunn, another brother.
Yeah, Dr. Jeffrey Dunn.
Yeah. So we want to wish him well, and hopefully we can connect with him. But the thought was for us to do maybe 2 to 3 monthly podcasts where we would just share the vision, get folks excited, and get them willing to invest in themselves. And then from there, we would put forth a Zoom challenge. And so that Zoom challenge would be inviting them to invest in themselves by being a part of a monthly Zoom motivational workshop. And then hopefully from there, that would move into and lead us into some in-person workshops. And so that's what we wanted to talk about today, and we'll have to talk about that at another time. But I just wanted to get you on the phone, Brother Criner, because, man, so many people heard the last podcast, man, and they got excited. I had one friend of mine, she said that she was listening to the podcast every day. She found it so motivational, so encouraging. And so we wanted to continue in that vein. So I'm going to give you the time to roll as you please. Tell us something that's going to really take us to the next level, because I know a lot of us are beginning to come out of this pandemic and we want to feel whole again. And how do we do that?
Wow, that's a great question. I think I'd like to just share this program called the Fcb Principle.
Yes.
And in the Fcb Principle is an organization of thought, of mind over matter, if you will.
Yes.
And the F stands for focus. Focus your eyes and your mind on what it is that you want to create,
Yes.
what it is that you want to be, do, and have. And then the C stands for the commitment to carry through. In the good book, it says, commit your works to the Lord. So again, the issue is bringing the spiritual component in there. And then the D stands for determination,
Yes.
to be determined to go on any way possible. In fact, it doesn't matter what you're facing. All you want to do is continue to go and press forward. So the FCB principle is focus, commitment, and determination. So, and then in addition to that, we're talking about something that is critical here. It's not just motivation, but we also need education.
Yes.
So and then there's a third commitment there is inspiration. So if you look at it, motivation, education, and inspiration combined together, Kevin, makes an incredible difference. It produces miracles in people's lives. It creates wholeness. It creates health. It creates wealth. It creates harmony. It creates happiness that the people didn't even know they had before.
Yes.
Because they are fixated on the foundation of life.
Yes. Love it. Love it, man. Love it. And so, you know, one of the things that I love about you and talking to you, but more importantly, listening to you, is that I always gather something. I always walk away from you having some type of jewel, almost like a bullet that I can use that can start my day, man. Is there any other way that folks can be connected to you? Do you have any books that are out that people could be involved in?
Yeah, we actually have 3 books out, I think, on Amazon.
Yes.
One is called Sharing a Vision for Self-Development, and it's 5 keys to self-development. Is on Amazon, and I believe it's on discount price now because it's been out so long.
Yes.
It's one of our main teaching books and coaching books that we connect to. The second one is How to Keep Yourself Motivated and Win at the Game of Life.
Yes.
That's also on Amazon. Again, a discounted book. I think it's maybe about $9 now.
Okay.
And then the third book is called Words That Heal, Bless, and Prosper.
Yes.
And it teaches the fundamentals. It's also, once you purchase that book, we also coach you. We do a free coaching for about 30 days.
Yes.
Once you purchase that book, because we want to coach you through it. It is in its format very simplistic,
Yes.
but very challenging to do because
Yes.
it takes you through the steps of motivation, education, and inspiration, and teaching the fundamentals, Kevin, that everything starts from within.
Yes.
So it's within, therefore without.
Yes. I love it, man. I love it. And so that might be the impetus to encourage folks to walk this progress or walk this process with us, asking them to purchase the book, your third book, and then by them purchasing the third book, we would give them a phone number or email that they could call or email, and then we would automatically sign them up to be in our 30-day Zoom. How's that sound, brother? How's that sound?
That sounds great. Great idea. I like the way you think.
Yeah, man, I love it. So what I'm going to bring to the table is the entrepreneurial spirit, but with a motivational undergirdment, right? But I'm going to have you and Jeff just really just pour out everything into our listening audience about how the mark of greatness, see, I'm using your word, how the mark of greatness can be upon them. Man, I'm getting excited. It's almost time to have church, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, I was talking to a friend of mine last evening, and we were talking about how thankful we were and are for the pandemic to be over, and what must we do to kind of change, because everybody's been like in this dead haze of not knowing what tomorrow may bring. And I think having you come on board and having this collaboration be a starting or a focus point, I think it's going to allow so many people to look at their lives differently, because it's almost time for a lot of folks to have a do-over. Right?
Yes.
And I
think absolutely.
I think the opportunity for such is now. Yeah.
Yes, and I think that's a key word you used, opportunity.
Yes.
The opportunity is always either you're going to grow or you're going to stand pat.
Yes.
And if you stand pat, you're not really standing pat. You're moving backwards.
Yes.
Because the whole opportunity piece is about moving forward, to press forward, and to reinvent yourself.
Yes.
Be creative. That's one of the things that I can suggest to people is to be creative. Ask yourself the question, what can I do to serve? What can I do to serve humanity? What can I do better in my community?
Yes.
What can I do with my family to help them? And so the issue is, once you ask that question, you literally will get an answer.
Yes. Yes. I love it, man. I love it. And, you know, a lot of people have been serving in their community, and now that they are coming out, it's like, what can I do for myself because I've been serving my community? And I think you are hitting the nail right on the head squarely, man. We need this more so than ever, man. And so I just thank you for all your commitment. I thank you for the investment in your community. And I remember the first time that we started talking, you were talking about the unity in the community.
Yes, sir.
And man, we need that. And I think that this summer, as the weather breaks, you know, a lot of folks are going to be coming out once again, doing things in their community. But we've got to make sure that there's some unity there, because there's some brothers and sisters that are hurt out here. You know, mental health is no joke. And so we've got to provide those wraparound services. So not only are we having a good time, but we're also attacking those issues that have once, I guess, in the past, were holding us back, right? And I think you are going to be a part of that catalyst that's going to be at the forefront, that's going to help us change minds and set folks straight again. Yeah, so I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Well, I certainly want to do whatever I can to instill again the vision that the word unity is actually already in the word community.
Yes.
It's the last 5 letters, UNITY. I guess it was Queen Latifah.
Yep.
Used to have a song, a little rap song, said UNITY. So we need to really focus on that. We really need to commit to doing that and be determined to make it happen through the grace and power of God.
Absolutely, absolutely, Brother Criner. We are going to make this the shortest podcast in the history of my podcasting thus far. But I'm going to give I'm going to give you this floor right now. Say something to us that will take us through the week, brother.
Well, again, you know me, I love the whole perspective of letting your light shine.
Yes.
And I want every listener to look at themselves as a light in the world. And so the question is, what type of light are you bringing to your community, to your family, to the world?
Yes.
And it comes down to the little song, "This Little Light of Mine." It's a light that has to manifest now.
Yes.
There's so much depression, there's so much discouragement, and as you said, there's some mental health issues.
Yes.
But again, when you bring your light out, you bring your light to the forefront. You don't just bring it out, but everywhere you go, you let your light shine.
Yes, sir.
You let the love shine. You let the harmony shine. You create beauty. You create abundance, because abundance is all around us, and you see the abundance. So the focal point of it is to live your life with passion and power and persistence.
Yes.
I call it the 3 Ps.
Yes.
And so the reality of where you are right now is what you've got to do is to let that light shine everywhere you go. Be the light. Be the lamp. And so I'm so excited about your podcast. I'm so excited to work with you, Brother Kevin, as well as Jeff Dunn, in creating this energy and this synergy that will help to transform America and possibly abroad.
Yes, yes. Brother, you have a fantastic day. I am Kevin Wortham, your host of the Entrepreneurial Enclave. Oh, man, life's coming attraction, so we want you to stay tuned. Brother Robert, thank you so much, man. Be blessed, be well.
All right, be blessed, be well.
Thank you, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another fantastic episode of the Entrepreneurial Enclave, Life's Coming Attraction. I am your host, Kevin Wortham. This morning, we're going to hit you hard. I got another brother, Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn, come on in, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. How you doing?
I am doing well, man. So we've missed you for a few minutes, but we're going to catch up. So you are another motivational speaker extraordinaire. Tell us your background. Tell us how you got started, man.
Well, first of all, basically, I am a second-generation entrepreneur,
Yes.
and make a long story short, I'm following the footsteps of my family, which was a labor management company focusing on maintenance, food service, and base management. We employed well over 1,000 people. I was CFO for well over 16 years, and when we basically put that business to rest, I literally used the headquarters and cultivated and turned it into a business incubator, which has been in existence for over 25 years. And has empowered thousands of people with training programs, as well as maybe over, like I say, 450 employees that have been jobs have been created as a result of the various businesses that have come through my incubator. I am working with Enterprise, a nonprofit organization whose focus is to direct small business to sustainable growth plans. And I'm working with them and with a cohort in this early summer in Newark, New Jersey. To make a long story short, I'm also working towards speaking and training in my direction of inspiration. Not a motivational speaker, not a minister, but right there in the middle, inspirationalist.
Okay.
And my thing is to bring the content of let's say, my spiritual beliefs into a context that ties into the business community. And the main thing I have to say as far as the business community is to try to maintain a balance. And I'm moving towards bringing material to help people in reference to the balancing of entrepreneurship, not just the money, not just the power, but the buy-in and the incorporation of the family, of the spouses, of the balance of fun, and the lifestyle of entrepreneurship. And that second-generation entrepreneur, I know what it's like to be raised in that environment. I know what it's like to lead that environment. And I also know what it's like to be a part of that environment. So I love to share that to those who are interested.
Awesome. One of the things that I always recall was your father. Very, very great man. He started Dunn & Sons, correct?
That's the business that I grew up in. Yes.
And I remember a story, I believe you told me, or perhaps your father might have shared, where you were doing, you had a contract to do the Empire State Building, correct?
No, that's incorrect. It's
Okay.
the Port Authority bus. We had the Port Authority bus terminal contract.
Okay, Port Authority. Okay, thank you. I stand corrected. And I had shared that story with a young lady down in Philadelphia. We were talking. And this is why I don't. When you don't know all your panelists at a panel discussion, sometimes I don't like to be a part of a panel. So I was there to talk about entrepreneurship, and she was just talking about just trying to find work. And she said that how many people would love to clean bathrooms if that was your job? And no kid raised their hand. Then when I came up, I says, how many people would love to clean the bathrooms if this was your business and you can make over $100,000, $200,000 a year? Every hand went up. And I was thinking about your father and how you guys had did that contract with the New York Port Authority. So your family looms large in the entrepreneurial world, and so we just say welcome to the platform. On the other end, we've got my dear brother, Mr. Enthusiasm, Robert Criner. How are you, sir?
I am fantastic and amazing. Good to be with you, brothers.
Good. And so what we are looking to do, we're looking to hit the audience with the 1-2 punch. And I'm so fantastically connected to you guys, because I've done some work with Jeff in Chester, PA, and that was the first time for him and I to reconnect. And again, I thank him for that opportunity. So I am just so grateful to see where this opportunity is going to move us. So let's talk about, what does it mean to be motivated in 2022? What does that mean? What does that look like?
Creativity, okay, and thinking outside the box, and recognizing that change is something that you cannot avoid, and resistance is futile.
True. Now, say more about the creativity. Why do we have to be so creative in 2022?
Let's use the example of the church.
Okay.
The churches were shut down during COVID.
Yes.
And if they basically were thinking outside the box, they weren't thinking outside their four walls, they died.
Gotcha.
Okay? They had to shift and basically go into a cyber platform. And those who made the shift are really, in some situations, doing better than they were before the COVID, because they were willing to embrace the change. So they were willing to, like I say, understand the value. You have a choice. Either you could be knocked down by the wave of COVID, or you could ride COVID like a daggone surfboard.
Love it. All right, Brother Robert, talk to us. How should we be looking and moving through 2022?
Well, again, I agree with Brother Jeff in terms of creativity. That's the foremost thing. You can't keep doing the same thing the same way, expecting a different outcome, which is the definition of insanity. So the concept of motivation, education, and inspiration have to be combined in reference to bring in a wholeness in individuals, which brings a wholeness in communities and family and all of it. So the issue is creativity, but I'd like to add another word, is that we have to, at this point in time, learn how to serve.
Yes.
We have to be servants. And again, servants not in a master-slave kind of thing, but serve as in purpose, and then passion, and then principles. And so there's where our creativity can join in, and then you can move forward in a purposeful manner.
Wow. I want to ask a question, right? And I don't want to be, I guess, like the cinder block, but right. So I'm looking across my social media platform, right? And I'm seeing so many people that call themselves motivational speakers. What gives them the right to do so, if there's such a phrase I could use, or what credibility should you have, or what background should you have in order to be considered a motivational speaker?
Jeff, I'll let you approach that.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so bottom line is, again, it's no different from a minister.
Okay.
You can go to school and basically and get all the degrees and so forth like that, and then there's the other side who basically is just evangelist going out there to preach. But let me be very clear: you can get the best book in the world, you go to the best school in the world, you can have the best teacher in the world, you have the outstanding mentors of the world. And bottom line, they can all give you all the certifications you could possibly want. But the truth is, if this was all about swimming, all those certifications, they're nice to put on your wall, nice to sing, nice to talk about, but until you get in the damn water and you jump in the water and you swim out of the deep water, you are not swimming.
Yes.
Okay?
I love it.
Amen.
All right?
Yes.
So don't tell me about what book you have, what certification you have, unless you are in the water and you are truly inspiring people, you are truly moving people, you are truly breaking, how can I say, areas that they are having problems working through, then you have not done it. I'm going to tell you, bottom line is, if you really want to say yourself a motivational speaker, then go into where people are in real need, who will basically call your bluff if you're not truly authentic, if you're not truly dedicated, if you're not truly in it. In other words, go where the disabled are, go where the seniors are, go where the poor is, go where they're not going to pay you, and do your job. And have somebody come up to you and tell you that you have inspired them, motivate them to go beyond their own means. Now you can begin the conversation of talking about how you're entering the motivational field. That's
Wow. It. Wow. If we were on live TV, that would be a mic drop moment. Thank you, man. Wow. Wow, man. Thank you. Oh, brother.
No. Take Rob, because he gave me the option.
Bring it on, brother. I like that.
Oh,
I like that.
Man, that was hard hitting, boy. I love it, Jeff. I love it. Amen. I love it. Oh, man, I was all right. So, Robert, you have any thoughts on that one, or that was just all Jeff?
Well, again, like I said, I can identify with what Jeff is saying, and,
Yes.
and that's the concept and the idea. And again, it goes back to purpose.
Yes.
So the purpose is, a lady by the name of Dottie Walters, she was a beautiful spirit. She wrote a book called Speak and Grow Rich.
Yes.
And she talked about getting the call. There's a time where you got the call to go and motivate people, to inspire people, to educate people, to bring people to another enlightenment. Or if you look at the word motive, it's when you're dealing with you're watching a TV show and it's a crime show. Even though a person has done something, they said, well, they got the evidence, they got
Yes.
the murder weapon. They say, what is the motive?
Yes.
So the question is, each individual has to ask themselves, what is your motive for being here?
Yes.
Why are you here? It all comes back to purpose.
Yes.
And so true people who are motivators and innovators and educators, what they do is they do what Jeff talked about. They bring out the best
Yes.
in individuals.
Yes.
So that no matter if it's in the prisons, if it's in the hospital, if it's in the church, if it's in the school, they literally motivate individuals and bring them out to their greatness.
Wow. I love it. I love it. Where do we start? How do we begin to engage, invest, inspire, motivate our young people? Where do we start?
Well, I'll take this one again because we're already in the process of doing this.
Yes.
Again, you do it in your community.
Okay.
You start locally.
Yes.
You know, there's a school, there's a high school, junior high school, elementary school that needs to see you at some point in time.
Yes.
And all you do is you go and you speak for 15 minutes, and then you ask questions, and then you incite and motivate and elevate the young minds that they can be anything that they want to be. And then here's what I know, that the word spreads around. And it's just as if Christ Jesus did the same thing. He went out into the highways and the byways and shared the what? The good news.
Yes.
So the issue is the good news that needs to be shared from each community. Wherever you are, an individual can start from one class and then move into universities and community colleges and state-run education agencies and nonprofits and, again, churches also. So it starts with the community that you're in, and you can expound and be creative from there.
Love it. Love it. Jeff, you want to add to that, brother?
No. He said enough. I'm not gonna. It's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. Now let me ask this question. So when you see someone like a LeBron James or Mike Tyson or a Tom Brady, someone who's achieved great status, could they in effect be a motivational speaker, or could they inspire folks, or are they so far away from the existing person that it doesn't really manifest itself? If that makes any sense.
Really,
Jeff?
I believe with what Rob said. Basically, it all comes down to the individual's intentions. And this is not judgment. There are people who are truly focused on their particular goals,
Yes.
and sometimes it's just them. Okay, and that's not critical. It's just their priorities. And again, that's not a negative. And there are other people who are a little more open and who want to help the community, want to help the family, want to help the people around, the people in need, and they have abundance, and so they have an abundance of more than what they need, more than they feel is for them. So they have the understanding and the willingness to share. And when you have that, then it's come from a selflessness.
Yes.
And like I say, and a desire
Yes.
to feed a need. And everybody's not there. Just because you may be great at a sport or great at activity or great at anything doesn't mean you're willing to share it.
Wow. Giving of yourself. Okay, as Robert says, to serve. I love it. Man, I love it. This is good. So as we move forward, what should be the number one concern an individual person should be looking to change within themselves first and before they move forward? What should be the number one thing someone needs to change within
Move forward
themselves?
towards what?
before moving towards accepting change or doing something different in their life? What's the first thing they should do? What's the first thing they should look at?
Self-reflect.
Okay.
Yes, I would say, and I would agree with Jeff on that. It's the mindset.
Got you.
It's the mindset.
And then how long should it take for someone to change one's mindset?
Well, sometimes it can change at the altar. Sometimes it can change at the club.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? It's like Fannie Lou Hammond said, sometimes you just have to get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Gotcha.
And then there's an awareness. Yes, go ahead, Jeff.
Sometimes the painful lessons are the ones that are most motivating.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Wow, I love it. Sometimes you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I love it. Wow. But I'm thinking, like, if somebody wants to do something different that they've never done before, right? And they're constantly getting backlash for something that they want to do, even though they know they've never attempted that. How do we close the doors to the naysayers? How do we do that when everyone around us is saying that you can't do this? How do we shut the down?
Well, the main thing, Kevin, is basically you have to have a focus, a mindset that basically that you are on a mission, and you have to really be clear in reference to your relationship with yourself and your relationship with your creator, and basically stay there. Okay, that you got to keep the main thing. The main thing is you. The heart beats blood to itself before it beats blood to the rest of the body. And if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody. Okay.
Wow.
So true.
So bottom line is, again, people have to have a clarity of who they are, where they are, and who they belong to.
Yes. Yeah. And then
with that, everything else begins. And I say to you that they need to basically, like I say, understand where they're getting their validation from.
Got you.
And they need to ask themselves why. And let me say this. I'm gonna give you something which I've been using, and that's why. So you gotta know your intentions.
Yes.
You gotta ask yourself, what are your, and that is a deep question that you really need to give yourself time. Be by yourself, unaffected by anybody else but you and your God. What is your intention?
Yes.
Wow.
There's a power in knowing.
Yes.
Yeah. What your intentions are. That's it.
Wow.
Which hey Rob, which leads to your why.
Yes.
Wow. I love that. I guess.
And again, wait a minute. And let me just add this.
Yeah.
And if all of that doesn't work, then move away from those individuals. Sometimes you got to move because their folks just won't let you grow.
Yes. I love it. But one of the takeaways I got from what Jeff just said is validation. And I guess all validation is not good validation, right? So I love that too, man. Because I work with a lot of young folks, and I work with a lot of young folks that are young adults as well. And sometimes, they're asking me, well, Mr. Kevin, how do I change? How do I make a difference? And sometimes I don't want to come across heavy-handed, but I see the folks on Facebook, on their social media platform, who've given them validation. And I'm saying to myself, I don't think that you would want to have this person validate you, because I don't think you guys are in the same comfort zone. And so I like what Jeff said, and I like what you said, Robert, about moving and sometimes watch who is validating you. Thank you. I love it. So with the time that we have left, before I ask my last question, is there anything that you guys would want to share with the platform now in terms of new projects that you guys are working on? And for you, Jeff, particularly, how do people reach out to you, Jeff, if people want to get in contact with you? Okay, Jeff, you still with us? Okay, I think we.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So what you can do is basically my website, The Business One Stop Shop. The boss. That's the acronym. The THE Business BUSINESS 1 Stop SCOP Shop SHOP.com.
Okay.
The Business One Stop Shop.com. And then also look me up on LinkedIn. And between the two, you can reach out to me.
Yes. And Robert, as always, please leave us your contact information again.
Yeah, sure. It's I am sharing a vision. I am sharingavision.com. Also, our business line is area code 580-529-3052. Again, 580-529-3052. If you're looking for a coach, call me.
Yes.
And it says, Rob did his. Let me do mine. 908 616 9662. 908
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 9662. He's a coach. I'm inspirationalist. My job is to inspire you. Long as you ain't crazy, I can inspire you.
So we've got almost like this West Coast, East Coast thing going on, right? So
right.
You're on the West Coast, close to in Oklahoma, and then we've
got Southwest.
Jeff, we've got Jeff in Jersey. So that's cool, man. This is good, man. We are going to encourage. We're going to help other folks invest in themselves, and we're going to inspire. And so I like what we're putting together, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Hey, Kevin, listen.
Yes.
I'm going to add this one thing. For those who really want to understand themselves, I'm going to give you some guidance.
Yes.
One, I say go to the book Strength Finders 2.0. Look at that book and focus on your strengths. In the back of the book, there's an assessment, 170 questions, 20 seconds each, 30, 40 minutes. After it's all said and done, it'll give you 5 pages, 5 areas where you are outstanding in. 3, you'll know, and 2, you'll say, wow, I didn't realize. Next is flower exercise and what color is your parachute, which will say what's the best environment for you to work in, to flourish in, and take off to another place in. Okay? And then last but not least, the classic book, As a Man Thinketh,
yes.
Sally B. As a
yes,
Man
amen,
Thinketh by
brother.
James Allen. Now, really, As a Man Thinketh is a great book written over 100 years ago, 62 pages. You can get it for free. Let me say it again, for free. Let me say it again, for free on the internet, all right?
Yes.
And basically, but he also wrote 5 books. Basically, there's a book that basically contains all 5 books, but those are some classic books that can really take you where you need to be so you can discover who you are.
Wow. Listen, gentlemen, on that note, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to say thank you. We're going to make this a monthly thing. And then by the 3rd episode, we're going to share with people as to how they can connect with us on Zoom and how we can move them to the next level. Gentlemen, you guys have been real. It has been a pleasure. I love the teamwork. I love what we're putting together.
Absolutely. It's phenomenal. Thank you, brothers. I appreciate you.
Hey, Kevin, iron sharpens iron, and I see sparks.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much. Have a
All
nice
right,
day.
be well.
Okay, now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That concludes another episode of the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. We hope you found this episode informative and enlightening. If you have any questions or comments about any of our episodes, please call 609-731-9311 or email kevin@minding-our-business.com. We look forward to joining us for our next one. Until next time.